credit to Warner Brothers for letting the fans see it first. I am all for that. They did it for Flash, and they've done it for stuff, and I hope they keep doing it. With this particular case, I don't blame them for doing it because it was the corporate media who shit all over the first one and actually propelled it into the stratosphere. But that being said, this movie shits all over the first one worse than they ever did. Worse than they ever did. And it's not looking good. The box office projections are like right there around Indiana Jones 5 and Flash. Now, Joker 2 didn't cost as much as those films, only $200 million. So it's not looking good. I don't know about your theater. Well, you're in LA, so you're in the home team. My theater was, you could hear a pin drop when that movie ended.
Exactly.
No clapping?
Okay, in AMC Burbank, it was 100% full. There was not one empty seat, even in the front row. Okay, no one clapped. Everyone, the lights came up. Everyone quietly got up and walked out. I haven't seen a reaction that bad in a long time.
Yeah, it's not good. It goes beyond not good. It literally ruins the first movie.
And I was in the same theater a week ago, and people clapped for Megalopolis. They did.
Wow.
Some people like that movie. I mean, it's a mess, that film. But people were like, "Well, the effort. It's ambitious. It swung for the fences. It missed." But people clapped at Megalopolis. Nothing, silence. I mean, it was people were walking out like their dog just died. They were like sad.
And again, we're not going to spoil the Joker for you. If you want to see it, go ahead. But go ahead knowing that it will most likely ruin your experience of the first film to where you'll never want to watch it again. Like I'm not the kind of person who does this, but I did it once. But I almost like just tossed my Joker movie into the fucking trash. Joker 2 did not need to be made, should not have been made, and it's a shining example on not everything needs a fucking sequel, or prequel. Just stop. Just stop. It's like making a sequel to Blade Runner. It's fucking stupid. It's stupid. It's like the director of Blade Runner going against the book and explaining things that he should never explain. You know, the great thing about Blade Runner for years, Chris, was the debate. I am certainly on one side of the debate, but there was a debate. It was open. It wasn't answered. It wasn't definitive. Was Deckard a replicant? And that should be debated till the end of time and never fucking answered. You know, the debate with the Joker was the first movie all in his head, parts of it in his head, half of it? You don't know, and you debate it, and it's fun to debate it. This movie answers all that.
Yeah, and in a dumb way.
Really fucking dumb way.
Even the musical aspect, like actually Alan Ng, the guy I do reviews with every week, who I love Alan. He liked the movie. He liked aspects of the movie. He was like, I like the musical part.
I think Alan's been in LA too long. I think it's just really just seeped into his brain. The musical bits were okay. I will say at best, when Lady Gaga is singing some oldies that are completely mid, it's mid. It is mid. At worst, frustratingly bad. Like really fucking bad in the beginning of the film.
I do like when a musical, like someone sings a song, it should be advancing the story. Like, not to get into musicals too deeply, but in The Wizard of Oz, the songs they sing are part of the narrative. Whereas these songs, the movie stops
dead.
There's a song, and then we're back to the movie.
And then I can't tell you the difference, but there's two different types of songs being sung. And one is being sung with earnestness and actually singing. And there's songs that are being sung like this. I'm singing a song on a phone really quietly like this. And it stops the movie dead in the fucking tracks and it makes me want to blow my brains out. It was it was cringe. Like I'm in my notes. I'm just like, please stop singing. Please stop singing. Make it stop. Like people were there was audible groans at times in the theater, which you should never have. Really? Yeah. Remember our concerns for Joker. Like when we first heard there's going to be a movie called Joker. It's not The Joker, it's Joker. By Todd Phillips, and it's going to be an origin story, and it's not going to be about Batman. We were like, why do we need this? Like, what's the fucking point? The Joker shouldn't have an origin. And this movie just proves those concerns right that we had before the first one.
Right.
And the people who didn't like the first one end up going to be right too. Like, we don't need another fucking peripheral Batman story. Like, that's what my attitude was. And I saw the movie and I liked the movie. But now it's made that statement completely correct. Like, enough. Even with the Penguin being good, right now, the Penguin and that the rug could be pulled out from under us from that. But the first 2 episodes are really good. Yeah,
no. Oh God, episode 2 of the Penguin.
But at least Batman is in the city and he's acknowledged in the first, show, right? And hopefully, if they don't acknowledge him the rest of the season, that's going to be a mistake, a giant mistake. Like, just talk about him. You don't have to show him, but you have to really talk about the specter of Batman.
He's a presence. It's like Heath Ledger as the Joker in Dark Knight has 15, 20 minutes of screen time. That's it.
Yeah.
But he's a presence throughout, Jaws. You hear that music and the character is on screen in your head, but not on camera, right?
First Beetlejuice.
Yeah, same as that. It's not much screen time, but really important. So that's how they could play Batman in a way. I still think we may get a cameo before the end of the season, but I'm loving Penguin. This thing is, I like Todd Phillips' original pitch for Joker. It's call it Black Series, whatever.
Yeah, Elseworlds. Yep.
Yeah, Elseworlds standalone series. Don't worry about lore. I'm going to tell a story because DC has arguably a lot of great characters, maybe more than Marvel. In particular, the Rogues Gallery of Batman villains. So I like that concept. But the way I heard in interviews where this may have gone awry is there was a script. Well, Joaquin Phoenix would show up to set and say, I know here's the sides, the pages, what we're supposed to shoot today. Why don't we have they would have a 3.5 hour conversation about what they were really going to shoot. He kind of took over. And I think that's where things derailed.
Yeah, because I respect the hell out of Todd Phillips as a director. I think he's directed 2 of my favorite comedies, and they're stylistically directed. It's not just paint by numbers directed comedy. He's got an aesthetic, and I know his roots. He's got some punk rock roots. And I respect that. He's he ain't gonna wear a MAGA hat anytime soon, but he's anti all this PC shit that's going on.
He's very common sense based. He's very common sense based.
But this is a whiff, a major whiff. And it does feel like the Access Media has been pushing the narrative that's kind of a middle finger to the incels. What it's more of a middle finger to is the first movie. That's what it's a middle finger to. It's an absolute middle. And when you see it, and if you see it, after this weekend, the conversation will be out there, right? I'm not going to spoil it, but the conversation will be out there. What few people are going to go see it will be talking about it. And you'll understand what we mean. And I'll say it's not particularly the ending that bothered me. It's everything that happened to lead up to that ending that bothered me. The ending bothers me too. It does. It was fucking cheap. It was, and I called it.
Yeah,
I called it. Really, it's very predictable. It's extremely predictable. You figure it out within the first 15 minutes of the movie, what's going to happen at the end. I don't know about you, Chris, but yeah, I can't say. There's a scene that they hang on that you go, oh.
Yeah. What'd you think of Lee Quinzel?
I thought Lee Quinzel was underused. I think she was underused. I can't believe I'm saying Lady Gaga was underused. Everybody thought this is going to be her movies. I know. She's a supporting character.
Yep.
And she doesn't do a lot. She sings, but as far as action on screen, she sits down, she talks, she smokes a lot of cigarettes. People smoke a lot of fucking cigarettes in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
But she doesn't really do much.
Nope.
This is an Arthur Fleck movie, for sure.
This is the studio saying, you're going to make this movie. And Todd Phillips does not have a lot of luck with sequels. I mean,
no.
Hangover 2 was so bad. Such a disappointment. Didn't need to be made. I don't think he wants to make them. He begrudgingly will
I think he does. Well, you get enough money, you got to, Hangover 3 is better. It's better than Hangover 2.
Right. Well, I have to admit, I know Todd Phillips from the 90s. Film Threat distributed his first film, which was a documentary.
About?
It's a dark movie. It's a dark movie.
Yeah, it's a punk rock documentary.
Yes.
And it's fucking dark. I'm blanking on his name now. Why am I blanking on his name?
He did the Gigi Allen story.
Gigi Allen.
He died while we were working on the video sleeve. And my friend Dave Williams and I are sitting there working on this. Oh my God, we got a call from Todd. We shipped out a Super 8 camera. He attended the funeral and shot footage and changed the ending of the movie. And we put the movie out. But he's always been a good, straight up guy. So I'm in this organization called the CCA, Critics' Choice Association, and we get invited to events. And I did talk to Todd during Joker. Like there was a reception and you can meet Todd and talk to him. So I went and, whatever, we talked film thread. But I said, you got to do a sequel. He said, no way. I'm not doing a sequel. Not doing a sequel. The sequel I pitched to him, I said, you've got that guy, Mr. Puddles, right? And the people who lived. It's Joker becoming the clown prince of crime in Gotham, and Batman is an asshole. It's the reverse of a Batman movie where you are on Joker's journey, his POV, but Batman ruins everything, and you kind of begin to hate him after a while. So that was my dumb pitch. He was like, no way, I'm not doing it.
Chris, I love you. I hate that pitch.
You hate that? No, think of it. It would be like, and then when Batman shows up.
No. No.
Whatever. All right. It's whatever. Okay.
I love you, man, but no.
I'm not working in Hollywood.
I would have been better than this movie, though. I'll tell you that.
Right. It would have.
It would have been better.
But anyways, he was very clear. I am not doing it. I'm not doing it. I just think he didn't want to do it. And that's why we got the movie we got. It's like, okay, if you want me to do it, like it's a musical.
Yeah.
And it is a little bit like the movie. I've said this before. Martin Scorsese made a terrible movie that no one remembers.
Oh, what was that?
New York, New York.
Oh, yeah.
Starring De Niro and Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's a musical like this where they talk the songs. They sort of half sing, half talk the songs. It's Scorsese's one of his worst movies. And that's what Todd Phillips was kind of hanging that, like, oh, okay, like that's, yeah, I can just, the last one was Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. I'll do this as New York, New York, a prison and a crime, a courtroom drama.
Yeah. It seems like most people don't like it. So yeah, it's not my concern what most people think, but it seems that's the general sentiment. I saw it with Steph, my nerdy home, and she didn't like it. It was just boring. It was really boring, really, really boring. It's a courtroom drama, and Joker doesn't do any Joker stuff, like at all. He sings. Problem is, it just feels like you're not watching anything new. More importantly, it feels like you're watching a regression, a complete regression of character. It was well shot, well directed. Everything was fine. It's just the story is flat. And when you start thinking about it compared to what they were building up in the first one, it'll piss you off. Todd Phillips said he knows it's going to divide audiences, and that's his point. If he was trolling Warner Brothers, respect. If you're trolling the audience that supported you, especially when the Access Media was attacking you, I don't have respect for that at all. Like none. Like zero. Less than zero. So we'll find out. We'll find out if you all go see it. Be prepared to be bored, and again, be fully prepared to have your experience from the first film completely ruined.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.